see it in the future. Maybe we'll get some more matches, but we are going to Dragonshire, and here it is, map number 2. All about those top laners and the rotations between mid and bottom.
Yeah, Zealots himself only had one game on Dragonshire. There was a series against Team Liquid where they did fairly well actually in team fights, but they lost later on against the Globals. So that might be something that they are even going to target here. But yeah, we have to wait for that. So with Dragonshire, the first thing that happens is we have Genji again banned out. Pretty much staying in character here. Even though Genji's win rate has dropped even further after we've seen him played once in the previous series when Fnatic went up against Tricked and Tricked lost with Genji. So Genji is currently in Europe sitting at 3 wins and 6 losses.
Abathur being hovered. Typical ban. One that empowers your top laners.
There are teams where I'm not quite sure if you actually have to ban out Abathur. Against Zealots, I would still do it. We have seen a lot of ADRD with Abathur in 2017, and so I would take him away right now. But they are already considering changing things up a bit.
Thinking about how they want to react if Zealots go straight into their Hanzo again.
The one thing I want to see is how the teams react towards globals, especially Dehaka, because today we haven't really seen a whole lot of Dehaka, neither played nor picked, but on this map he would be fantastic. And one of the statements that we heard over and over again and saw in action as well is that Dehaka in the hands of Arcana is doing extremely well. So Zealots could try and take him away, but they also could just try and deny him. Because I feel Method would be very happy if they get their hands on the dinosaur.
Oh gosh, they love their Dehaka. The first week, that was the hero that was on display for Arcana, showing that he was here and with the chops to compete against some of the best here in Europe. So yeah, Dehaka definitely gonna be one, especially here on Dragonshire. Remember yesterday with the Team Liquid games, how powerful Dehaka was, allowing for them to get wins, especially in the past.
The Zealots very hesitant here.
Yeah.
At this point, do you go Hanzo?
Are they considering Tyrael, you think?
I feel it's 3 heroes that... Actually, no, there's even more. You have Tyrael to consider, you have Dehaka to consider, you have Hanzo to consider.
There it is.
And a fourth one that I would also throw in is you would have to think about Uther.
Tyrael has made his way to first pick this weekend.
And deservedly so.
Fnatic did it also in the last series.
Yeah. Massive impact of the hero, but now how is Method going to react to this? How do we have Uther now early on? You can also go... One of the concerns that you immediately have if your opponent is already running Tyrael is that they can also get Greymane. Greymane is highly popular. He's the hero that is by far played the most. He is globally played in nearly 80% of the games. And he also has a really decent win ratio overall. So he is a hero that excels together with Tyrael, so at this point you would probably think about potentially taking him away. So you could go into Greymane and Uther, but then we have talked about Dehaka, how strong he is for Method, how strong he is for Arcana. It's another hero that you could take here right now. So there's definitely several ways where you can go with this, and a lot of it comes down to how scared are you of potential Tyrael combos.
They go Tracer Malfurion.
Yeah.
Mixing it up. Tracer in the mix, Malfurion as well, a combo that we've seen displayed a couple times in the last few weeks. Looking for blow up. One of the things that actually took Tyrael a lot in the past when Tyrael was played in the meta as a solo tank is that he can be blown up pretty easily. Now, it's a little bit easier to hold on to thanks to that level 1 that we now have on Tyrael, but we used to have Cursed Bullet to a Pulse Bomb, and they would just delete Tyrael and make it very easy for the team to get a win and then charge over the rest of the opponents. Now, of course, Sanctification is something you have to play around, but that is definitely an option that can be considered here for Method.
Greymane is still something I'm looking to. Method didn't take him. Will Zealots claim him now?
They should. I mean, it's against Tracer. You got Tyrael. The cards are stacked for you to do it.
The thing is that Zealots don't really have the best record with him. They don't play him that much. They really have completely different priorities. They have only played Greymane in 29% of their games. That's really not a lot. That's 4 games. And from those 4, they lost 3. They still take him though. And even though they don't have a good track record with him, I like it for the reasons that I pointed out earlier. Greymane with Tyrael is just such a fantastic combo. It always was, but now after the rework, it's even better. So that really helps. And they already go for Malthael and set him up to the top. That could trigger Uther being banned by Method. I would actually argue this is one of the best bans that Method can currently go for, ban Uther.
Ban Uther, get rid of him there. Make sure they don't have Sanctification, don't have the Divine Shield. But right now, Greymane and Tyrael picked up for Zealots, the one true pairing here of Heroes of the Storm. What do you think Method wants to move into? They have their Tracer, the Malfurion. They want someone to open up damage really well for them.
I would say that Method wants to pick Dehaka. I
Yeah.
could see Method banning out Uther now because it works so well with everything that the Zealots have. And I would not be shocked to see Zealots simply going for a ban on Dehaka and trying to deny that top lane.
Uther's being hovered.
Those two would make the most sense. There's other bans that you can consider, but just to go for the obvious ones, Uther being banned as expected, totally understandable with what they have here. And now, I would ban out Dehaka. Zealots could go for something else if they're not afraid of playing against the global, but that's also what they lost to the last time that they played on the map. When they were going up against Liquid, the late game was dominated by Dehaka's rotations, and it worked really well. So I would be a bit cautious about that. And it also can really put Grave in trouble. But there are other options that you have. I mean, you could target the front line, for example.
Arthas.
But Dehaka would be the one where I would say, okay, I know they like to play him. They're successful with him. Fits their comp. We lost against globals already. We don't have a global ourselves. Unless they pick some global so they can counteract it. I mean, I don't expect them to go for a second tank, but they go for an Uberak. They want to reduce some of the aggressive potential that Method has.
That's actually becoming a bit of a trend. Whenever we have a Tyrael on one team and Nubrak gets banned out as well, the idea of Cocoon landing on Tyrael before he's able to save a teammate is a scary idea, so you can see why the ban does come in. Also, good at stopping Malthael and his Tormented Souls, so natural ban here. Arthas was an option, and then the options that you were mentioning earlier.
So let's see if Method even takes Dehaka. It was the hero that I expected for them on the side lane, but they might have a completely different take on it. So they might go into something else here entirely. We're also still waiting for a frontliner, so we could also see them with maybe even Muradin here once again.
Yeah, especially when considering Mopsio wants to play.
Method hasn't played Blaze yet. I'm not certain if they would consider going for Blaze and then maybe setting something up similar to what Trick does, where they open up with a stun and have jet propulsion coming in for the second, if that's an idea that or a combo that at any point they considered. It's also a good offlaner that they could use here. Ooh, Tacita and Chromie. Okay, so double support Tracer here after all, and a Chromie to boot. So we are not going to see that solo lane melee that we expected here, and no global either.
Tassadar will have a difficult task here, being the wave clear here for Method. He'll have to rotate around, but that is something that ADRD, who's probably going to be playing that Tassadar, enjoys. He likes to go into the Sidestorm build, so that'll give him the chance to stack those up. Chromie on the bottom lane to be annoying and Tracer zipping around. It's scary, but Method has to play well.
Yeah, well, we had a fake tweet from Justice.
Did we?
Yeah.
Those darn fake tweets. I missed it. What did it say?
It said, I'm not a fake tweet. Clearly fake.
Could we be a little bit more clever?
Josh, seriously, could you get a bit more creative in your
Yeah, Josh, just take tweets from my Twitter timeline instead of that. What are we doing, Josh? It's a real tweet, Josh said. He wants to make sure that people are aware.
Real tweet. Medivh
again. Okay. And Karazim for chasing down Tracer.
Rhaegar was still up, yeah. Karazim going up against Tracer, that really works for them.
Yeah.
Medivh, you have, so to say, like 1.5 supports. You have the extra shield in, so that works to keep Greymane alive here.
Last pick up here for Method. Gonna need that frontline warrior. Anything come to mind? I'm feeling a Stitches for some reason.
Yeah. I would say you can still, even against Malthael, you can still throw out
Muradin?
Muradin here, yeah.
Yeah. Muradin would be the safer pick. Gets us more ganks, can set up Tracer to land her pulse bombs.
I'm not 100% certain if I'm really sold on the Chromie here, to be honest. Chromie is doing actually quite well overall. It's just that when I look at this, Chromie is going to have a rough time if ADRD is able to get set up good portals.
Sure. But Chromie's safe until the first line of defense is needed. Blaze
main tank, okay.
For the main tank. Back to the Chromie point. Chromie's okay until you start to lose out on your turrets and your forts. That's when she has more of a harder time against the Medivh. So if Zealots have a good opening, which is where Chromie can excel in the early game and control the shrine on the bottom, she should be all right.
Could they set in place just simply, even with the main tank, up to the top lane and just have him there and have the rest rotate?
They could. He could double soak as well to rotate in. I mean, Tassadar can go top too if you really need somebody to hold down the lane. He should be safe enough. He has to watch out for ganks. They have options here.
It's going to be a good game. I think Zealots have a lot of cool tools that they can use here. And the draft on the last map I liked a lot better for Method, because Zealots just were focusing on tunnel visioning so hard on the wombo combo that whenever the wombo combo didn't get value, they would trade down in cooldown so heavily that it was easier for Method to execute all of the fights. But with the setup that we're having right now, I really feel they have a lot of cool engage potential here, where they can just portal in Malthael, for example. They can portal in Greymane. They have the immediate aggression towards Chromie, towards Tracer. I think it's a cool setup for Zealots, and they definitely have a lot of tools to tie this series up.
Well, let's see if they can pull the tools out and use them effectively here. On the left side, though, Method. Schwimpy playing Tracer, a Thorough on Blaze, Curson on Malfurion, Nick playing Chromie, and Arcaner on Tacitor.
And towards the right side of the map, we now have the Zealots again, with Chris on Greymane, Shat on Karazim, Zamani on Malthael this time. Mopsio finds himself on Tyrael, and Mehdi for the second time in this series, played by ADRD.
Now that you've mentioned it, I am curious about the laning setup for Method. So we'll watch for that. My assumption is that Arcane will be on the top, and it looks like it, actually. He's playing Tassadar, so there it is. Harassment on Zarmany.
Yeah.
Schwimpy goes in, starts working on the pulse bombs.
Yeah, there's immediately a portal, and Nick already getting attacked by ADRD a bit. But yeah, Mopsio here all the way in the middle. Nick from the back is just shooting one hit after another. And Nick's Chromie, we said this in the past, but you might not have heard it before. When we were at the last offline event, the Koreans actually didn't even know what Nick's nickname was, but they were always talking about him. It was like saying, oh yeah, the expert Chromie player, he's really scary, and he's one of the best players in Europe. So the Chromie play that we have from Nick is something that is feared even in Korea. Now here's another opportunity to prove how impactful he can be on the hero.
And I also have to correct myself here. I was talking in draft for some reason about ADRD playing the Tassadar. I'm so used to him being on there. He's not even on Method. Arcaner's the one showing off the Tassadar for the first time here in HGC as a top laner instead.
To be honest, it's a mistake that I know it's weird, but I feel it's an easy mistake to make, because whenever I see a Tassadar, in my head it also connects immediately with ADRD.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just what it is, man.
We haven't seen him for quite a time, and then we saw him last week, and every single time when Tassadar came out, ADRD played him, so I think that was probably it. That's just ingrained in our brains by now.
Yeah. Well,
he's the only Tassadar player in the world. Nobody else can play. Kappa.
Schwimpy's getting some good support, though, from Arcaner. The shield's coming out. This was actually a 3v2 for them, and Schwimpy sticks in, continues the fight, as the top shrine is controlled, but this is where Chromie can excel. With her having a number of advantages in the bottom, she's able to step forward, drop the time trap, and control the shrine. Yeah,
Chromie was played once by Method in one game. They have 100% with her, so the last game they could deliver, and they were able to win it. Let's see if he can increase that to 2. They're actually doing very well here. At this point, getting both of the shrines, earlier level 4. Not really in a massive lead or anything, but they are doing well in this early game. Person with a good route, trying to make sure that Nick doesn't die here as he's being chased by Chris and Mopsio on Greymane and Tyrael. But heavy fight over the bottom shrine.
Yep, and this is where Chromie just gets stacks in. He can hit a few. He can really start to bring those up. Gonna also clear out the wave too with the Dragon's Breath hitting the back line. Person doing his best to control it, but with 3 on the bottom, they don't have to really do too much, as this is a setup that we saw a lot last season with double support. Whenever you have 2 supports on your team, put 2 in the top. Support there and a damage dealer. Nice route into a thorough engage.
The setup, Nick with the immediate damage. That was pretty brutal. This setup was absolutely perfect. Person delivering with the root after the time trap, and then Nick has an easy time getting the combo, and that was a ton of damage. So yeah, good job by the 2 of them.
In terms of stacks, 10 out of 60 there for the Chromie. Zealot's fighting back, though. They're able to grab both the shrines. Not able to get a dragon, especially with Schwimpy floating around ready to harass when need be, and a Thorough. But again, this is something that happens pretty often. If you get control of both shrines, your opponents are going to scramble to take one, right? They want to make sure that they can stop you from grabbing the dragon. So go take the giants, and Zealots do just that so they can help with Chromie on the bottom.
This is also the first time that Blaze is played by Method. So we currently have still a few teams in HGC Europe that haven't played with Blaze, at least not in official league games and scrims most. Oh, Zamani.
Good revive.
At least in scrims, most of them, of course, already tried the hero. Tricked is still the poster child for Blaze play overall. But we have seen him played 4 times by Dignitas, and they won all 4 of the games. Method, on the other hand, hasn't really played with him yet. And they use him as a main tank immediately. Nice jump on Nick here. Heavy aggression coming out of Chris and Chad. And you can really see the thought process here. Both of them super mobile, and it's easy for them that once they're in range to chase Chromie and try and take her down. It's one of the main reasons why Curson is currently paired with Chromie, to make sure that he has the roots to stop those engages.
Yeah, especially when we had the combo come out from Nick to go straight out to the Giant to clear that up. That allowed for Greymages to move in. There was no damage, no fear of anything. So you can take that hard engage because of that. Now, we do have the Night Cam being grabbed here on the top right. If Method catches this, they might be able to move in and grab a Dragon. Material is around to delay that, so Mopsio buying time for his team.
It's kind of funny to me. I actually really enjoy having Shrimpy on Tracer once again. Every single time I see Shrimpy on Tracer, I'm very reminiscent of the time when Fnatic played against MVP Black, and you heard the story later on when Shrimpy just told Quark, they say, draft me Tracer. I got this, draft me Tracer, and then he gets Tracer and he demolishes the Korean team. And now we see him on Tracer again. I'm really, really enjoying him on the hero. And it's super fun. He had a massive impact with Junkrat on the last game as well.
Yeah.
And as we said before, it was the first Junkrat win for a team other than Fnatic or Dignitas that we had in HGC Europe. And now we have Shrimpy and another really impactful hero. So it's super fun to watch him on those.
I am curious about Nick's choice of Heroic, though. He picks up Temporal Loop at level 8 here to drop in the combo and focus on target. Now, there's 2 reasons why I'm doubting it. One, because of Force of Will.
Yep.
Able to stop that 30 minutes.
Triple cleanse later on.
Yeah, triple cleanse at level 16, meaning in the late game, which is something that we see a lot of time on Dragonshire, it'll be difficult to get those combos out. I can see the idea of layered aggression, where you do a temporal loop into a combo and the Tracer comes in with a pulse bomb afterwards to get the kill, but still, really difficult to pull off.
No, I'm with you there. I feel it's going to be very difficult for him to get kills. If AD isn't around, then it's going to be a bit easier, but in most cases there should be either a cleanse after 16 or there should be the Force of Will. So I would have thought that he would go for Snoring Sands here too. But so far, Method is doing well. I mean, they get the early 10. There's no kill in the game so far. But they have the earlier 10 that might lead to a Dragonite. It's a bit unlikely. This is only half level away. And we still have 3 heroes down at the bottom. But there comes the aggression with the hero starting to move in. Twilight Dream being used. But that didn't really do too much since they could still move out with a portal.
Ah, there's the idea there. Curson gets traded around there. Zealots come back and stop it. Now their thinking comes online a little bit. They're hoping to get a Twilight Dream on top of the Medivh to have the temporal loop go through and get a kill. There are a lot of squishy targets there. But that puts Curson out of position, right?
That seems to be a lot of ifs and whens.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if they're able to pull it off there. It did not work out, and you saw the results. Zealots turned around and got a kill themselves on Curson, who had to step up and use that Twilight Dream.
Can we quickly talk about Medivh on the other hand? Have you checked out his 10?
No, let's check it out.
He currently is going for a Polybomb here, so no ley lines. Polybomb instead for these fights.
Oh, it's actually kind of clever. If we have the bunker play, you drop a Polybomb on the Blaze, and as they're jumping in and out, they're going to wind up overlapping.
It's also another tool against Tracer, so that can really work out for you. That could be a lot of fun here.
Well, we had Temporal Loop versus Polybomb. Different heroics coming in.
Polybomb always reminds me of Warcraft 3, the good old times. There was a strategy back then. Some of the veterans that might watch right now, I hope there are some out there, might remember Pretty Lights. That was actually in one of the patches super strong. You just went full casters, source and priest, and you just polybombed everything. Just sheeped everything, polymorph everywhere.
That sounds broken.
It was broken, and I was not a human player, I wasn't on that, so I was very, very annoyed by that build. But it was a pretty fun one. That was even before the expansions had kicked in, I think. Well, so yeah, Polybomb is in the game, and we're gonna see that being dropped by ADRD. But so far, pretty nice back and forth game. Not a single Dragonite has been taken yet. 1 kill for Zealots, all that we've seen so far. Bit of a blow-up potential here with Karazim in the 7-sided too. But again, the time loop here, not really getting too much value out of it. And as soon as Zealots gets to 16, I really doubt that it's going to get any value whatsoever.
No, Zealots grouped up and they invaded aggressively to the Giant location. But Method didn't mind. They actually win the trade there because they put Tassadar Tracer in the top and they take an entire fort for Zealots getting 2 Giants that were cleared out by Chromie. Big trade up for Method.
Yeah, again, here's the loop. And that was a bit of a mistime on the side of Medivh, but still nothing that puts Mopsio in too much danger of dying.
That's actually kind of cool, though. They put the root down so they can go into the combo and just starting to become a little bit to make this time bound. Oh, the Force of Will is a little bit too early. And Karazim, who has picked 7-sided strike, falls.
That was actually perfect play by Curson. Double kill as Chromie delivers the final blow to Malthael. Curson really made the play here. You could at that point see that everybody on the side of the Zealots were just about to hit their own heroics or go in with the abilities, and that's when Curson interrupted everything and hit the perfect Twilight Dream, and as a result they get 2 kills out of that. Really heads-up play by Malfurion. And Curson, I don't feel we have really highlighted him a lot on the last map when he was playing Uther, but he was spot on with his moves, and he continues that again. It's really cool to watch him here. It results in a double kill and in a Dragon Knight.
Shwimpy missing out a bit of a dash there to go in for a pulse bomb. Shwimpy taking some damage on the backside. The Holy Bomb for Shad to move forward, but sadly not enough as Shwimpy disengages from the fight. The Dragon able to do some damage in the middle lane there, Fort taking some beatings, but the major appeal here for Method as they put 3 in the bottom and they're working their own Fort.
Yeah, we also have this time an adjustment. I haven't really mentioned that yet, but we have now Swift Retribution. I was talking about Swift Retribution earlier when we have it paired with Greymane. In the earlier series, it didn't come into play, but Mopsio is going for it now, so he wants to give Greymane the extra attack speed that he gets with it too. So it's another adjustment that we are seeing occasionally with the Tyrael setup, with the rework on Tyrael here.
Big root there from Curson. Again, highlighting his reaction time. Portal comes out, drops the root to make sure the Zealots aren't able to chase Method. Had they been able to chase, Chromie would have fallen.
Yeah. And right now, 15, okay, 15 versus 13, the 16 talent soon going to kick in for Method. They are really looking strong here. They are going to have an easy time taking the keep of the fort in the middle. And Zealots has to react somehow. They have gotten that 1 kill earlier on, but they need to start making a few plays here. And they have the potential to do it. If they start to gain some momentum, the problem is Method with 16 is going to be tough to beat.
And that 16 is right around the corner. A couple more waves of experience at a night camp and they'll be just fine. Zealots have yet to even open up this bottom lane. The turrets are standing, still controlling those minions that are coming in. They aim to change that, though, with a double play on the night camp of the Giants.
Yeah, exactly. Malthael currently on the night camp at the bot lane, and that should give them quite a lot of push power through the bot lane. But we already have Chromie in position, and we have also Blaze in position, so that is a lot of AoE already against it. And 116 kicks in. Tassadar has also the double storm available, and he's on his way to the bot lane now too. But they need to try and get something out of it. Of course, the aura helps a lot against Chromie's attacks right now. That should keep it alive a bit longer. And they're already going in deep here, trying to see what they can do with it. The wall has broken, and despite the 16 available, they're just going for it.
Bunker dancing here from a thorough sanification pop. They're going to go all in on the fire bat. Can they get him?
Way.
No. Polybomb even used. It goes into Pearl Loop. Here comes the combo. Gonna miss out there. The cleanse being just enough there. Looks like it's able to escape. Tyrael is going forward for a little bit of damage, but getting nothing as Zealots loses 2.
They lose 3 at this point. Even Malthael exploding, and Method able to keep Blaze alive. That was crazy. That was actually insane. At that point, the shield comes through with Tassadar, and it really looked for a moment as if Zealots would just crush through Method. They burn the bunker down, they go for Blaze, and just before he falls, the shields from Tassadar come through again, and that allows them to push everybody back. Zealots are trying to escape here. They dropped everything. They had nothing left. They were fighting at a level disadvantage, at a talent disadvantage, and they really homed in on the idea. Get the first kill, get the snowball, win the fight, and close this gap. This is the battle we need to force, and it all fell apart. They lose 3, they lose another Dragon Knight, they're 2 levels behind, and that gap is going to increase now even more as Method is aiming for additional structure.
Yeah, you can't forget about that Juggernaut plating too. You usually want to try and bait that out. Between that, the shields, and the armor coming in, just a little too much. However, Zealots find some spice in their life. Move in and get a combo on top of Tracer. She's deleted the dragon, punting people to Chris comes back.
Okay, that was, I don't think I've seen that lately. That was an interesting one. So a temporal loop on a Dragon Knight that kicks away a target, and Chris just gets ping-ponged around the map, and this is like, well, all right, I guess I'm okay with that.
He was a shooting star, just dashing across the screen there.
He's like, guys, I'm getting punished. Oh, no, don't worry, I'm good, Thank you, Chromie.
And the good news for Zealots is they've now gotten a kill. They stop an entire dragon, and they hit the same level of talents. They have a couple levels here to play around and maybe catch Method with their pants down.
Yeah, getting the kill against Tracer was actually insanely awesome for them.
Yeah.
Because right now, they could have lost the keep here. They could have actually lost the keep, at least the wall and even more experience. But with that kill against Tracer, as you said, they negated the Dragon Knight. And they were able to get the experience they needed to at least fight on even talents for a bit longer. The problem is they have to make it count. They need to do something with it. They can't just wait for Method to hit 20, play around them and play a patient game, and then with a Storm Talent advantage try to force fights again. So Zealots need to be aggressive. They need to initiate something and see if they can get kills or at least structures. If they are able to take a few structures down, they will close that gap faster so that they spend less time with the talent disadvantage once Method hits 20.
They are being aggressive. Method's toying with them and knowing they're trying to go for it. Oh, they find Blazo. The polybomb connecting before he's able to use his own shield. Temporal loop here on Mopsio. And get the Force of Will and the cleanse as well. Chris goes in with the portal though and takes the damage from Chromie.
Yeah, Chris gets the damage, but Mopsio as the target of the temporal loop didn't suffer any, and that's what we were highlighting earlier. The cleansing touch on 16 for Karazim is such a game changer. Before 16, Chromie already is going to struggle to get value out of the temporal loop because of the Force of Will, but at the same time, we have also, of course, the opportunity of cleanse being used now too. So there's another tool and another hero that you have to be careful about when you go in with the temporal.
And now Zealots, knowing their opponents don't have a main tank, are going to make a play for the dragon. They set up for it pretty well. Greymane grabs top, Mopsio's on the channel, and there it is. Dragon for Zealots, and this is where they try to find a spot to open the map.
Up to the top, there's another big engage. Tracer starting in, needs to be a bit careful, but Shrimpy is able to move out. Okay, that could have been a kill. But now Zarmani is moving into the middle, and it's value time. This is really the moment when you need to deliver. You are one level behind. If you clean out some of those structures, you're going to be in a way better spot. Bottom keep, bottom fort is nearly destroyed. Get the bottom one, get the one in the middle, and you are all of a sudden looking at a way better position where the time window that Method has is shrinking fast.
Speaking of value time, that 20, as you mentioned, we're in the corner, but also the quest about to finish up for Chromie. She's getting stacks on this Dragon Knight. She is 2 stacks away from finishing the quest, which gives her an extra Sand Echo to be able to bring in a little bit more damage. Method makes a play for the Giants. ADRD scouts it out. This might be a bait here. Are they going to try and maybe force a fight? No, they're going to go ahead and grab the Giants, pull away, and wait on 20.
Yeah, very little value out of the Dragon Knight. Didn't really get a whole lot here. It was burned in the middle as the bot lane got attacked there, so now it's an entire level that Method has the talent advantage. Zealots is trying to clean out some of the camps before that even happens, and I think that's a pretty cool thing to do. They have the vision thanks to Medivh, so they don't need to be afraid. And the more of these camps they take away before Method goes for them themselves, the better for them right now, since they can't engage into an active battle with Method before they themselves hit 20. And so far we didn't have the objective announced again, so they still have a bit of time.
Yep, more proactive than reactive. Method comes in to grab those Knights, but Zealots have already taken them away. They just have to wait a little bit for that full level to come in. I think they should be able to get it close to that 20 as long as they play safe here and soak the lanes that will be coming their way.
There's one interesting disadvantage when you take those camps. It means that the lanes don't push against you, so you have to go farther out to clear waves.
But you get the advantage by the vision that comes in, so you can go to the other side of the lane and soak, which we see here on Mopsio.
Yeah, so that's, those are the two aspects. It depends a lot on how your opponent plays it too.
Yeah.
So Method is now pushing in at the top lane. It makes it a bit easier for them. But here again, we have the cleanse coming in. Once, twice, making sure that...
Wait. We got stuck in a loop.
Yeah.
Oh my golly.
I was like, wait.
I haven't seen that in a gangster minute. Stuck in a loop, brings back the target a second time, so you can follow up into a second common and the pulse bomb. Now, still interesting.
It's still weird. It's even more weird to see it in this situation than any other because you have a Karazim with a triple cleanse and you have Medivh.
There's a surprise factor, so if maybe somebody slips up. But wow.
Yeah.
We'll see if it pays off. I haven't seen that in a game ever.
I highly doubt that it's going to pay off. I mean, it forces a few more dashes out of Karazim, so he needs to be a bit more cautious, I would assume. But you still have Medivh in there, too. It's not that there's only one. If you use that against a single cleanse on a hero, I would like that way more. But in this setup, it just still feels a bit odd. But it forces Karazim to be way more cautious around his dashes. But now we have 20 versus 20. The entire time when Method got their kills, when Method was able to get ahead, at times they were 2 levels more than that ahead. But if you look at the game right now, what did they do with that? Nothing really.
No.
There's no keep down. It's an eye-level fight now with 20 versus 20. There's
level 21.
No talent advantage anymore. A small stat advantage to the 21. Yes, you are correct. Nitpicker. But yeah, besides that, they don't have anything to show for all the work they put in the early mid-game.
And now the late game dance begins, where you try to control one shrine and catch your opponent out of position. The problem with this is that Zealots have the advantage. ADRD on that Medivh. Being able to scout and provide vision is important here. That knowledge allows for Zealots to choose their fights.
Yeah, and they already go in once again. Combo, okay, a lot of damage. Seven-sided coming out. They're going again for Blaze. The bunker is up, not really utilized. Tormented Souls used, and all of a sudden Malthael is the high center of attention here. Temporal Loop comes in, gets not cleansed out. Malthael is dead.
Malthael is dead, and Method want more. Zealots will make sure that they are not allowed to get more here as they portal away, but a 5v4 here for Method makes it much easier for them to move forward and break down a keep wall.
Nick gets the value. In this case, no cleansing touch. Medivh wasn't ready for it either. Cooldowns were being used, and with that kill, they have an opportunity to grab another Dragonite, and that's a hard-hitting one at 20 minutes in. Might end the game. Keep would already be a big asset if they can get that. But they're also just sticking around at the bottom of the map now. Tracer's making her way to the top, but they're a bit afraid of that 4 versus 4 fight here.
Yeah, the Medivh makes it difficult to separate. If you have one person head to the top and you don't know where Medivh is at, suddenly a portal onto you and you get picked off, so they're waiting to respawn. Finally, Schwimpy is able to grab the top shrine. Tassadar is in a prime position to get that dragon.
Nobody there to interrupt him. They go for the bottom right now. A kill alone would already be it. If they get the kill against Zero, then they can have no problem with giving a Dragonite up as long as they get the kill, but they need to get the kill.
He's sneaking out. He still has the shield. Finally uses it. Thorough's getting lower, cutting away like crazy. He's going to go ahead and dash out. Schwimpy here to save him.
Shed wants him.
He's
Shed really wants him. They get him, but do they lose someone in return?
Mobster taking damage. No. Schwimpy trying to chase now, getting some harassment in. The Dragon has gone over to Method, but they're missing a tank. But I guess Dragon's kind of a tank.
Yeah, but they can't. In a 4 versus 5, they can't really do too much. If they jump into the backline and get another kill, then this turns too fast. So the Dragonite is once again negated. It's going to get some value, don't get me wrong. They will be able to take down the wall, but I highly doubt that they're even going to get a keep with this. I would be very, very surprised. And at this point, they're just burned down on the hit points. So that kill against Blaze, that was the play. They saw the sneak into the middle. They said, hey, they have Tracer top, they have Tassadar mid lane. That means they have 3 heroes down here. We are 4 versus 3. As long as we get the kill, we're good. If they miss the kill, they're in trouble.
Schwimpy almost getting caught there. Temporal Loop will come out just to make sure ADRD escapes. It's going to use the Force of Will to get out. And most people would say, well, why don't you just wait for the Dragon duration to go through and then have Blaze come in and go for the fight? Look at the numbers right now. There's only 15 seconds left on this Dragon. There's not much they could have done. That kill, as you mentioned, hampered Method in their push.
It's really funny, by the way, how this double temporal forces a different playstyle of Shed.
Yeah.
He can't be as aggressive chasing Tracer. So they have now this trade-off. I'm still not sure if Nick gets the value out of the talent that he really wants to. I feel it would be more impactful against the hero with a single cleanse. But at least it forces now Karazim to be way more cautious before he starts jumping after someone.
Instead of wave 100 Fist, too.
Yeah, he can't chase Tracer as much as he would like to in a lot of these fights because he needs to keep his extra charge set up so that they can negate the damage.
Clever. Nick bringing in the Temporal Loop. Combo comes out again, but Zealots with an aggressive play are able to go forward and take the Night Camp away from Method.
This is a close one.
It is a close one, and no team has lost a keep yet.
Yeah, not a single one of them. Both of them still fighting here, and we are 23 minutes into the game. Another Dragonite could end this, but as we are starting to home in even later, I love how they always trade here. And the next Dragonite could be Little Godzilla, basically.
Little Godzilla. That sounds like a cartoon show. I'd watch it.
So he's pretty cute. He's a strange cousin of Little Ragnarok.
Now I want a little Diablo skin. That sounds amazing. As Method and Zealots move to the late game, 23 minutes here. Gonna be having shrine spawning pretty soon for our teams. It's all about the trade-offs when it comes to Merc camps, the rotations, and Method just can't get a surprise. but deep continues to be annoying.
I mean, also, we're having Guardians of Twistfall. We haven't really talked about too many of the 20s just yet, especially Chromies, of course, stood out, but we also have Holy Arena now for Tyrael, for Mopsio, which is another big one. The extra damage, the extra duration. If you can force that fight around it, that would be fantastic. And that's something where especially Athero's bunker just screams, force a fight here.
Yeah. You get the certification, you allow Malthael to drop in that.
Yeah, they're setting it up. Method already closing in, finding an opportunity.
Closing in here, Arcaner, kiting backwards, has the Archon.
Shat goes in, Archon already been popped. Sanked on the ground, not getting a lot of value, but they're starting to chase.
Curson has the Twilight Dream, they jump into the bunker to stop any combos from coming out. The portal will allow Zealots to back up.
Yeah, at this point they're just retreating here. But the Holy Arena didn't get any value. He dropped it too early. He didn't wait for the bunker. He didn't wait for Method to make a stand. And now with the cooldown gone, with the Heroic gone, we see Method becoming way more aggressive.
This Archon is doing some damage like crazy. Big read on the portal, though, into a Pulse Bomb.
Well done here. Somebody still able to escape. AD with the vision once again, but the double storms coming out. So much pressure against the keep. And the time traps everywhere. The chase with the portal. Once more, Zealots going in, going deep, but Curson with the Twilight Dream.
And the bunker comes out again, that low cooldown. Gonna have Tyrael, Sanctification going forward as well. Doesn't have it up and available. Mopsio kiting backwards.
Yeah, Mopsio is low, and so is Zarmony, but he'll pop the Twilight Dream here. He popped the Tormented Souls here. Twilight Dream, of course, used earlier by Kirsten. No kills just yet, and in the back line, it's Chromie the entire time with one hit after another, and then Shrimpy sees the opening, goes in and drops Malthael once more.
Gets a kill on Malthael. That Sanctification being used 2 fights ago, really hurting Zealots right now. Not able to get the full engage they wanted, nor could they stop that Pulse Bomb combo from coming out. ADRD sharking around, but the keep is for pickings here.
Yeah.
As Method goes in and takes it away. Another combo from Athero.
They get it. Shrimpy, by the way, is on 74,000 damage right now. He is putting everyone else in this game to shame. The next one is Chromie with 58k and Grayman with 54. But Shrimpy, he's the one putting on a clinic right now. He's the one darting in once again. Has died 1 time so far in this game. And instead of going for the Dragonite, Method is just screw all of this. We are sieging up on that core. We are delivering the pain right now. Malthael is out for another 10 seconds, and we can drop the hit points in the meantime.
Still have to be careful though. Zealot Sanctification is up now, as well as the Polybomb. If they dive too far, they can get in trouble. There is the Polybomb, straight on Tracer. She jumps into the bunker, but she spreads the Polybomb twice. Sanctification used, Swippy zips out.
Yeah, once again, the Holy Arena on the ground. Mopsio is low. Malthael is finally coming back. Zealots
Combo.
wait for Malthael. Here's the combo. Well done, ADRD. Here's the silence, and that's the end of Karazim. He's down, and once again, the Zealots find themselves down 1 player. They're stunned with a jet propulsion.
Combo!
Moving in, and Nick just destroys them here. 50% on the core. Method with a 1-0 lead in that series goes in for the second win.
A long, drawn-out game comes to an exciting conclusion as Method finally gets those couple of picks there. The find on the Karazim with the Twilight Dream, just enough allow for them to go for the core, and that follow-up from Chromie. Beautiful hit there. As taking out 2 targets was the goal for them, and they were able to land it.
And also, again, a great Twilight Dream by Malfurion, just as we see the massive engage with the portal. And that was really the moment when Zealot said, okay, go in, take them down.
Yep.
And once they go through the portal, Curson is just there. He shuts everything down, and then again, with tail between their legs, we see Zealots running away. They lose 1 hero, and then the siege continues. At that point, with the position they had, Method just simply said, we don't really care about the objective. Screw the objective. We're just sieging up on the core. We can fire away with Chromie the entire time. Whenever there's an opening, Shrimpy can go in and deliver the kill.
Yeah.
And we have always the jet propulsion, the bunker to just deliver any kind of escape. And if they go too deep, if they dive us, Malfurion has his ult or the roots. So really well done by them. And a 2-0 lead over Zealots. So Method is poised to take the series if Zealots doesn't step it up.
A great series, and we will continue it when we get back here after this commercial break. Get ready for game number 3.